Hey folks, this is Justin Germino from DragonBlogger.com here, and I'm about to test this Comfier vacuum on my carpeting and then my hard floor. So I'm using some baking soda carpeting powder, and I'm going to see how this vacuum picks up the carpeting powder and cleans the carpet. Again, this is the Comfier vacuum. You could hear it making a loud whirring sound here. Running it over the carpeting. Now I have pretty thick carpeting here. The carpeting's pretty coarse. That's this low power mode. That's high power mode. We're trying to pick up the carpet powder here. I'm running it back and forth. And I'm noticing that it doesn't quite pick up all the powder and get into the grooves of the carpet super well. So you can see I flip it over and it's got like a rubber and then bristle intermittently on the rotating brush. Now I'm going to use my Shark vacuum, which is about half the price, to compare the sound and the suction quality of the two vacuums. So this is a $79 Shark vacuum, typical handheld cordless Shark vacuum. It doesn't have a detachment. So overall, I find the Shark vacuum itself can do just as good a job as the Comfier when it comes to the carpet itself. So I would have to say that the Comfier vacuum itself is not quite worth the extra cost when dealing with carpet of thick carpeting. So let's go ahead and do other testing like furniture, handheld, and hard floor testing. Okay, I've switched the Comfier vacuum into handheld mode by detaching it and putting in the handheld attachments, and I'm going to go ahead and test it out on the furniture. So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing you'll see is, let me move the camera over here and set it on my couch. Point it down, move some of my cushions out of the way. There. Pour some, again, using the same baking soda, deodorizing powder on the sofa itself. Taking apart the Comfier vacuum, taking off the pull extension and putting it into handheld mode, and you can see this is the handheld attachment. Again, this is the one that you get into corners or baseboards, and you can see the suction is pretty strong. It's actually pulling up the couch material. It's really strong suction. Now I'll show you a different attachment. This one's better for doing lengths and sections of carpeting or flat flooring. So you see this works pretty well here. And you can see it's doing a pretty good job picking up the baking soda, and the suction is pretty strong on it. So obviously for a handheld attachment, I think the suction power is pretty good, this Comfier vacuum. So for cleaning a sofa, you saw that powder I put on there. Did a pretty good job picking it up. I noticed there's a few dog hairs that get woven in between the fabric that it kind of has a hard time pulling out. But generally, it seems to be doing a really good job in handheld mode. Much better than on the thick carpeting in normal vacuum mode for the Comfier handheld. Now we're going to switch to hard floor mode and see how the vacuum does. So again, pointing at my hard floor in my kitchen and my hallway, you can see my dog's paws. Again, using the baking soda on the hard floor, which is, it's laminate, it's not really like hard tile. And I'll go ahead and vacuum towards the camera this time to show you it actually sucking up the carpet powder. Again, low power mode and high power mode. You can see it's coming through with the bristles and the alternating bristle brush and the foam, brush inside the rotating brush. And it does pretty good for carpet powder and hard floor. So I definitely think the Comfier does much better on laminate floors or maybe very thin carpeting than it does on thick carpeting. But overall, it does a really good job. I see no powder residue left behind. I would have to say the Comfier does better job on hard floors or very thin carpeting than, say, thick carpeting so far. Now we'll go dump out the tray. You can see there's just a button at the bottom of the canister to open it up and dump it in the trash. Pretty easy to do. The canister is kind of small, so if you have a lot to vacuum up, you might have to empty out the canister a few times while you're, while you're doing trash. And we gotta watch it. It fell over there. I made a little bit of a mess there. I'm gonna have to clean up later. But overall, relatively easy to dump the canister in your trash can. As you can see, the handheld mode, the motor, it has a trigger for your finger, so you kind of press it like a gun trigger to turn it on. There's a switch to turn it on and off to low power mode or high power mode. And yeah, overall I think it's a really good handheld vacuum. It does well for hard floors, not so great on thicker carpet, but overall pretty comparable to the Dyson at a fraction of the price. So that may be definitely worth considering and taking a look at. Feel free to check out some of our other review videos in a related category. And thank you for watching.